We will now discuss exercise 5-7. 5-7 had 4 parts to it. The first part asks for us to use the equation method to derive the break-even point in unit sales. Part 2 asks us to use the equation method to compute the break-even point in sales dollars. Part 3 asks for the formula method to calculate break-even point units sales, and part 4 asks for the formula method to calculate the dollar sales to break even. Now you can use either one of these two methods. You did not have to do all 4 parts of this. You will notice that all the answers are the same. So under each of the equation method or the formula method. Beginning with part 1. Part 1 wants to know the break-even point in unit sales. You'll notice the equation method, profit is 0. At the break-even point there is no profit, therefore profit is 0, equals the unit contribution margin times Q minus the fixed expenses. The unit contribution margin in this particular problem is $2. The sales price of 8 less the variable cost of $6 gives you a contribution margin of $2. Multiplied by Q minus 5,500. We end up with 2Q minus 5,500. If we isolate the Q on one side of the equation, we end up with 2Q equals 5,500. Q equals 5,500 divided by 2. Q equals 2,750 baskets. So we need to sell 2,750 baskets to break even. Under the equation method, we can also calculate the break-even point in sales dollars. Now this could very easily be done in this situation where you already know the number of baskets to be sold to break even. You could multiply 2,750 baskets times $8 per basket to come up with $22,000 of sales needed to break even. In this particular situation on the equation method, once again, profit equals the contribution margin ratio multiplied by sales minus fixed cost. Break even in this particular situation, as we know, is 0, equals 0.25 times sales less the $5,500 of fixed cost. We isolate the sales on one side of the equation. We have 0.25 sales, that's what we're looking for, equals 5,500. Sales equals 5,500 divided by 0.25. Sales equal $22,000. As I mentioned to you in part exercise 5-6, I use the formula method. I just think it's a little bit more direct. The formula method says in order to figure out the unit sales to break even, you divide the fixed cost by the unit contribution margin. In this situation, the fixed cost is $5,500 divided by the unit contribution margin of $2 per basket yields a break-even point of 2,750 baskets. Part 4 asks for the break-even point in dollar sales. The formula is similar. It's fixed cost divided by the contribution margin ratio. We take the fixed cost of 5,500 divided by the contribution margin ratio of 25%, or 0.25, and we calculate that the dollar sales needed to break even are $22,000. This does it for our discussion of exercise 5-7.